One, two, one, two. Okay, here we go. My microphone was messing up. Welcome to another week. I hope you're all doing well. It's the last week of March. Today's Monday, 24th of March. Let's start with the dollar index. But before I do, let's go straight to British pound, because there was a trade idea from last week, Monday. We're looking for a buy over here when the week started, and the trade got triggered on Friday, and but the direction of price has changed, because from the weekly perspective, we are likely to attack a previous week low, so we might be coming for this, and first one might be this one here, and then potentially that. So I did send a notification to take partial about an hour ago, and then put your stop loss to break even. So that's how you're supposed to be with your partial. And in terms of targeting, I think this high here, even though it's reacting off from the breaker, I want to see them go and attack this high. So we might go for that high, and then we will look for a sell to come back down. So this week we're actually looking for a sell on the British pound, and the sell will be up here or there, either this gap or that gap, any of them. Now again, if you like, you can trade it in terms of waiting for price to get there, give you a confirmation, and then you sell to come down, or you're gonna place a sell limit, and then when it gets there, you get triggered in. Now let me say this before I forget. Anytime I give a trade idea, especially for those of you on the platform, make sure that when the trade moves at least more than 1-to-1, you put your stop loss to break even. Okay, because it's better to be stopped out at break even than to be stopped out with a full loss. All right, now why do I say that? If you're expecting price to move over the course of the week, sometimes price might come back down into maybe taking out the original entry and then resume going up. But sometimes too, you can go beyond that and still be valid to go higher. So for example, this trade here, right? If it comes here and then it goes down, move at least 1-to-1, put your stop loss to break even and then leave it, because the worst case scenario is you're gonna stop out at break even, and then the best case scenario, which is going to be most of the time, is price will actually move to your target. All right, so make sure you do that, because I think I've had quite some trade ideas that some of you probably have realized it went very close to your TP, and then price came back and stop you at break even. Okay, so just use the idea that I'm just sharing with you right now. If price gets to your entry and it moves at least one, I'll say 1.5, but 1 to 1 if you're watching it, because sometimes it can get to at least 1.5 and then price will come back in a form of a pullback and then continue going higher. In that case, you're not gonna you know, take anything out of that trade, but most of the time it will go, unless the direction is wrong, and then it will go back to the stop loss. But if you have your stop loss at break even, then that means you actually be saved. Okay, so yeah, that is what I wanted to discuss before we actually start looking at the dollar index for today. So looking at what British pound has done so far, I think it's best to take some partial, put your stop loss to break even, and then let the rest run, and let's see how far price is gonna go. Right now, over the course of the week, we will be looking for a sell. That's what I think the British pound is gonna do. It's gonna come back for this low. Okay, so that's what we'll be looking for this week. Let's go to the dollar index. Now, why do I say that? When we look at the weekly closed above previous week high, so I'm expecting price to basically attack this week high. On the H4, I wanted to see them go probably somewhere here, which is Monday trading down to somewhere down here, and then Tuesday rejecting to start moving higher. But it's all up to how today is gonna trade anyway, especially this New York session. So looking at the H4, right? Looking at the H4, watch this up candle. If we lose that up candle, then it's not a good thing for a bullish week on dollar index, because then Monday is still closing higher where we want Monday to close lower. So based on the idea that when market opens, we anticipate some form of a manipulation. This is too shallow in my opinion. This is the right area for price to come to. Hence, I'm not fully convinced that if we go up Monday, then we will continue going up. I'm not fully convinced. If we go up Monday, maybe they will manipulate back down during the course of the week, especially maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, because it might form a high and then come back down again. All right, so let's see. It's all up to how today is gonna end anyway. So as it stands, we are watching this up candle to see how it's gonna react. If they go above it, then I think the euro will also start going back down to attack this low here. British pound will come back down, but it's still early. That's why I don't like Monday trading, because it's too early to kind of predict what price is gonna do. Okay, so let's see. That's what I can say. Let's see. The other pairs that I really want us to look at this week is this pair here, because it has taken out an important low right here. If you go to the 3 months, we did not take out this high. We did close bullish. On the monthly, we are trading inside. Let me put my glasses on. Okay, we are trading inside this low to this high. That is a range, because that's the last time price made a run up from here to there. And from the higher time frame perspective, this low to this high, that's the range. This low here to this high, that's the range. So all of this was a pullback, and we're expecting them to go back up here. Let me go to the 6 months. It will make sense. Okay, so this is where the narrative is coming from. We've closed above that, so we are bullish. Price needs to go and attack this high. Okay, we've got about 3 months to go, so that's the drawn liquidity. So all of that is just, you can say, the first 3 months is manipulation. The second 3 months will be expansion. Hence, this is just a pullback. So if I go back to the 6 months again, this is the range that we are dealing with. And that's the low that I was talking about. And this was just the pullback. On the weekly, we had 3 down candles, which is the month of March. And this is the last week of March. So we might start showing interest in going back up again. That is why on the H4, you're seeing this big push away from that level, and you can see they've broken structure. On the daily, it's actually giving us a close above this last down candle. Hence, for now, we would likely trade a little bit higher, which is somewhere up here. Once today closes, you're looking for this candle's high, which comes in at 1.10116. Okay, and a trade idea can be formed if we pull back. Ideally, I really don't want it to do that. I want it to just create a reaccumulation candle, meaning this down candle, and then we go back above it. Then you buy with your stop loss below that, and then you take price to that level. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting on this pair. So that will kind of bring some strength to the Aussie pairs. So if you love trading the Aussie pairs, you can start looking at the Aussie pairs now, excluding this one, because the Aussie is too weak compared to this. I think Aussie yen would be a good pair. Now, if you've paid attention, I don't really look at these, but you can see that Aussie yen has traded to discount relative to this big range here, this low to this high. That's the last swing, so we can go up and go down to the weekly. Come on. There we go. Okay, so looking at how the weekly, you can see these two we rejected. The month, let me go to the month. The month will make sense why I'm looking for that. Okay, we are rejecting the previous month low. This weekly has rejected, giving a close, not a close above this, but it did close higher than the opening price. This is just a pullback, and I think we will go back up again. Watch it for this week because it can give you a nice trade to go and attack this high. Now, if we do not attack it, then we are going to be attacking it next month, which is this high here. Why? Because once we take out a low, we will likely go and take a high. So with the strength that might come in on the Aussie, you might be able to use it to go and attack this high. Okay, so keep that, because that will be a nice trade idea going into next month. We've actually missed a nice entry, but it's okay. Okay, cool. Let's move on. So instead of trading any like the Euro Aussie or Pound Aussie, Aussie CAD is also not bad. Last week we got stopped out, which is fine, which I did mention that was my fault. From the weekly perspective, we've only reached the 50%. We still have a little bit more to go. Hence, this low to this high, that is a pullback to me, right? So I'm expecting them to go back up again. And I think last week I did point out to this gap. That's where I wanted them to reverse from. You can see that's where they are reacting off from. So if we break this up candle, then we can start looking for the buy. All right. Now, again, it's similar to kind of what British pound has done. If we get a buy, we will be taking partial, and then we will leave the rest to see how price is going to react. Because I don't like the way the weekly candle has closed. It has changed the state of delivery on the weekly. Now, it doesn't matter, because if we are going to go up, we can get a big candle to go all the way, just like we did over there. Okay, so let's see. Apart from that, this being the last week of the month, it's going to be a little bit tricky. So let's be a little bit cautious on going hard on trades, because I've already explained why over the course of the month, which week is preferred in terms of looking for high probability trade ideas. This week is not, because of how the candle is going to close for the month. All right. All right, give me 1 second. I'm trying to sort out a link, but it's not working for some reason. Oh, there we go. It's finally working. Okay. All right. Let's look at gold. Okay, so gold, last week I did mention that they were likely going to take out this low, but I wasn't expecting it on Friday. It was late in the afternoon, and they did smash it. Today, That is what I'm kind of looking for. A run for this low. That's it. Okay, I'm looking for a run for this low. On the weekly, we are still bullish. On the daily, we've 2 down candles, right? These 2 down candles can be reaccumulation. Now, if it's reaccumulation, then we can have 1 big candle going above it. But I don't think that will be the case for today. So watch this up candle. We are looking for it to break here. If they go above it, then these 2 down candles are reaccumulation, and they are likely going to expand higher again. Okay, so watch this up candle right here, this one. That's the one that we want them to reject from and attack this. Then we go back up. We want Monday to at least straight down, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we start going back up again to that 3081.70 level. Okay, all right. Crude oil, we are almost at the level that I want to see them come to, which is right here. Now, they did come to that gap on the daily, but the way price behaved here, that is not how selling takes place. This is not how smart money sells. That's why price did not give us anything. Last week, I was expecting them to come down and attack this low, but they didn't. It actually went high. I got crashed on this as well. Last week was pretty, I would say, bad for me in a long time. But again, it's all part of it. You're not always going to be right. Sometimes you'll get beaten. And last week was one of them. I got beaten by the market, but I survived. I'm here. Okay, so initially I showed short here with my stop loss there. Moved. I was expecting them to go there, and then New York session came and it just flew and it took me out. Now, it's not a bad thing, because what that is doing is pushing price into premium. So let's see how we will play out this week. On the weekly time frame perspective, nothing has really changed, because this is not a reversal pattern, right? The up candle's right there. So I don't think this is a reversal pattern. Even on the monthly, this is not a reversal pattern, right? So maybe next month when we open, we might come right back down to attack this low properly, or even that one, and then we start going back up. So we are watching how price is going to react in here. That's the focus right now, right in here. If it's going to reverse, it has to be in here, and then we will see how we can get a trade on this. Okay, ES. So last week I said that this candle, it's likely going to be a redistribution, meaning they're selling more. So this week I want to see them reject, and I like the fact that we've started the weekend prices going up first. Monday we don't trade, or I don't trade. I'm expecting this to be an up candle as usual, and then maybe tomorrow we reject and then start coming back down, or Wednesday. It depends. So the way it's gonna happen is you're watching today, tomorrow. If we open, does it take out today's high and then reject, or does it continue going up? If it continue going up, fine, leave it alone. Wednesday, do we open and we take out Tuesday's high and reject? If it doesn't, fine, let it go. Thursday, when we open, does it take out Wednesday high and reject? If it does, then that's the high of the week. Then we look for the rejection and then we sell. Okay. Now, the question might be, can I buy? The answer is if you want to. Okay. If you want to, you can. How do you buy? Follow the order flow on the daily and the H4. So, can I buy? Yes. This is the last down candle, right? So as long as we are above this down candle, price will continue going up. Okay. So if you want to buy, just make sure that you are not leaving your stop loss anywhere in here, because it can come back in and still go up. Unless we lose this down candle, then we will go down. But if you're going to sell, then it's just going to do something like this. Then you get in and it comes down. Then you anticipate the break. Okay, so can you buy? Of course you can buy. The only problem is the entry. Now with the entry, you can use 1 hour order flow and then use the 1 hour as your protection. So you're buying maybe where we are now as an example, and you leave your stop loss below the down candle, because the idea is the order flow should stay intact. Okay, so if you want to buy, by all means you can. Okay, let's move on to the crypto market. Now before I actually go to the crypto market, let me bring your attention to the economic calendar. Because I noticed that some people don't even bother to look at it. Okay, so if you look at the economic calendar, when is big moves going to happen? Like a day like today, 145, dollar index is going to have some move. And then at 6 p.m., Bank of England, which is the British pound, is going to move. Tuesday, probably nothing. And then Wednesday, we have Aussie CPI, British pound CPI. And then on Thursday, we have GDP, which I think that is where the move is going to happen on dollar index. And Friday, we have the retail sales, which sometimes does give you a big move. And then CAD, GDP. Now, because of how the announcement is layered, I think there might be a random event. Okay. Why do I say that? Because most of the time, since the dollar index is the king of the market, you will have some kind of a high impact news on dollar between Tuesday and Wednesday, which generally set the tone for the week. Now, on Tuesday, we don't have that. Wednesday, we don't have that, right? That leaves room for Mr. Trump to tweet something to cause some movement. Again, that's why this is the last week of the month, because that would cause the manipulation. Hence, embrace yourself, because there can be a likelihood of a random news event that will cause the market to shake. Not shaking as in, but it's gonna manipulate the market up and down to either stop people out or to scare people, right? So sometimes that's how I anticipate random news coming in. When I look at the economic calendar like this and I see absence of dollar index news on Tuesday and Wednesday, then it leaves room open for a probable manipulation. Okay, let's continue. Let's go to the cryptos. All right. So I think I'll start with Ethereum. Ethereum, I haven't changed my bias. I'm still looking for lower prices, and I think we talked about potentially, I think it was British pound. I'm sorry, Bitcoin, which we'll look at very soon. This has come back higher into premium, which that was likely probable. Again, why? Because the down candle is too far away from here. And that's how sometimes you know when a move is about to go down or not. Let me show you how it looks like. So when you are looking at a range like this, right? And let's say you're expecting price to come here to continue going down, OTE, optimal trade entry, or 618. When price comes into premium, right, there's always a probability that they will manipulate before they go down, right? Now, if you are watching it and you see price, let's say, give you a down candle here and then moves all the way up to that premium level, this to me, based on experience, is a sign that it's not gonna go down like this. No. If you see it dropping, embrace yourself because they might do one more run, then they move down. Okay. If you can, go through price, you will see several examples of what I'm showing you here. Why is that? Because if it's institutionally sponsored, then they will like to sell close to where the reversal is going to take place than selling here. So because if they are going to sell, they'll sell with up candles, not the down candles, right? But the down candle will be the breaker. And if they are going to go down, then this is not where the breaker is going to form. The breaker usually forms very close to the last up candle. Hence, if you see a movement like this, I'll bring British BTC here because that's basically what I said last week, that they are likely going to come back up again. Why? Because this down candle was too far away. So I think I still have my drawing there that they were going to come back from here to take out this high and then potentially move down. Even with what has happened now, I don't think this is the reversal. They might do something like this and then move low again. Okay, so let's see. Same thing with Solana. Okay, you might get something like this. Same thing with Ethereum. Now, how the month is closing is also going to be important. So even with what I'm saying, it can change because the month hasn't closed yet. So how this month is going to close is going to be important. If they reject the previous month low, it changes the narrative. If they close below it, it changes the narrative. Okay, so how this month is going to end can give us more ideas going forward as to what we're going to do with them, especially Bitcoin. Okay, because it's also rejecting previous month low. Now, to me, it does not change the narrative that we are going up. The only thing that it might change is that next month we will come and attack this high and then we come back down again. That's all. Okay, so it's not gonna make a big difference as to price is gonna go up. No, it might go up, take out this high, and then come back down again. But it's very, very early to be looking for that. So the only exciting story is this one, AI16, right? Because we've been looking for the reversal, or at least buyers to come in, and it's showing signs of it so far. So for those of you that did get the courage to buy some, well done. Let's see how the month is gonna end. We really want to see the month go back above previous month low. That'd be very, very good. Let me remove all this drawing. So for this week, the goal is for price to reject this low. This, we need price to come back above it. And if you do, all of those that bought down here, you'll be swimming in some nice profit, right? Okay, let's look at Ripple. So I think Ripple, yeah, it didn't quite get there. It reacted off from the breaker. I think we'll go back up here, right? Watch that for this week. We will likely go up here. Yeah, I think we're gonna go and attack that high. So in terms of ideas, this is where I wanted to get in, or wanted everybody to get in. It didn't quite get there. It did react off from the 618, the breaker, but still don't discount this level. Just leave it there. Who knows? A sharp move down and then a quick rejection can happen. If that does not, let me see on the daily. Okay, this H4 down candle can be a good one to use in terms of protection. This one here, so we can buy that. Okay, stop loss can be below that, and then expect them to continue going higher, unless they form another one here, then that can be used. And by now, if you've been watching us for some time, then even if I'm not here on Saturday, this can be a buy. This can be a buy. You should know how we execute trades here, right? This can be a buy. This can be a buy. Even Friday, this down candle after we closed above it could have been a buy, but it was too early. This closing above this is similar to the H4 doing the same thing. All we need is that green candle. Okay, hence we can continue going up to attack this high and that high. So that's the drawn liquidity for now. 25904. That's, whoa, look at that. I was shocked, but not shocked. Yeah, I was shocked, but not shocked. Why? Because I kept saying that where we are, oops, right? There's nothing here. So it's just a matter of time that a buyer will come in. Selling is not acceptable where we are now. If you sell where we are, you actually don't know what price is all about. So again, I'm not surprised to see that big candle. That was huge. It was, I think, 34% during that day. And it did come into discount and it's going back up again. Has it changed the narrative for me? Not so much, but it's a good sign. All right. It hasn't changed the narrative for me, but it's a good sign. Let me zoom in. It's a good sign. Why is it a good sign? On the daily, it has actually traded above an up candle here and this up candle there. So that's a good sign. We can't say that on the daily we can trade back inside this range, which it has already reached that premium level. If we were going up gradually, that would have been exactly where I want price to trade to, but it did it in a flash. So leaving this gap here is a positive sign of price showing strength, initial strength to go back up, because since price started going down, now let me teach you something. Since price started going down, it has not given any fair value gap. Okay, it was always fair value gaps on the upside, which is bearish fair value gap. This one, this one, this one, that one, these ones, this one. Right? We've never had a bullish fair value gap. This is the first one in over, since we started coming down, to be honest. So since January, this is your first bullish fair value gap. So that's a positive sign. Okay, that's the only positive sign. So as long as this gap here stays open, we will start coming back up to where it reached. So drop down to the H4 and then pay attention to this candle's high. That candle's high. As long as price is above it, we will come back up here again. Price will come back there. So that is that for the tool. And then chart key, it did eventually go for this low and that low as we wanted them to do, and then immediately rejected. So that also I'm not convinced yet because we're still trading down. Let me check on the H4. Yeah, I'm not convinced yet. This up candle, we've still not even managed to close above it. So watch this daily time frame. Can we get a close above Friday? Can we have this candle green, 10 green? If you can have it 10 green, then definitely tomorrow any move back down, you're looking for a buy to go up. All right, this looks familiar. It looks very, very familiar. That's like a market maker buy model. Yeah, it looks very, very familiar. Watch that. If we break it, I think this whole move to the downside, it's a buy. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. Watch this. That's very interesting. Very interesting price action in here. Yeah, it's a very, very interesting price action in here. Watch this pair, because I think there is a probability we will be coming up here. Okay, there's a probability we'll be coming up here. Yeah, watch this. Do we break now? Let me show you what I'm seeing. Notice this consolidation, and then we drop down, we pull back, we drop down, we rally, we drop down, we rally, we drop down, we rally, we drop down. That same thing is over here. Let me zoom in. But this time I'm going to drop down to a lower time frame. Same thing is over here. We consolidate, we drop down, we rally, we drop down, we rally, we drop down, we rally, we drop, and then we break. So on the higher time frame, where we are breaking currently is similar to this. On the H4, okay, this is where that same pattern is over here, and if we break it, it comes up here. The same thing that if we break this, then we are likely going to come here, right? You have to see it from a fractal bird's eye view, because that's how they buy. So remember I said if they are going to buy, there's going to be an up candle, down, down, and then they go up. Let me see if I can bring it. There we go. So the up candle, the down, the down, the down, the down, and then reject. That is a buy. Okay, so that buy pattern on the lower time frame, that's how it looks like. It looks like this. This whole move to the upside is the up move, the up candle. Then you have the down, then the down, then the down, then they reject and then come back above it, creating that auto block, which is the green candle that, or the down candle that we close above to form the green candle, right? Okay, I think those of you that will get it will get it. Those who don't get it will get it later. Okay, so that's what I think I'm seeing. So look at it again. The last move, series of down candles. Go to the 5-minute chart. Last move, series of down candles, and then they break. Once they broke, price never looked back until it went right above it. Same thing here. Last move, up, down, down, down. So once we break, which we haven't done yet, but once we do, they are likely. This whole move is the up move before they move down, excluding that one, right? Take your eye from this, because that was another buying that took place there. Okay, so that's it from me for today. I will see you same time tomorrow. Today is Monday, so just relax. Let's see what Tuesday or how the day will end, and then by Tuesday tomorrow, by this time, the market will give us something to play with. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your week. My bad. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.